Se va a hacer un gran medida del marisco fresco.
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Shincho and see if he's... Maybe we could start by asking him about...
¿Qué te pareció el paisaje?
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the... So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma,
Dice que la montaña Yogo se apreciaba a lo lejos, pero estuvo lloviendo todo el tiempo. Esta es una mentira.
It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far. Oh, right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence. Let's discuss creating novels with Shincho.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This made me feel as though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustration. Light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but...
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it very fitting to draw...
Doesn't sound...
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. Shincho, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh?
¿Por qué mientes?
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck...
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori festival. Even we, the...
Well...
The jig's up, Shincho. You were already in it. Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth?
Son unos matones.
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to explain this. Oh, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, well, if this isn't a coincidence, I didn't expect to see everyone here.
Huh? Tone deaf bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste
y el
them.
pisto.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer of good... I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of a
Huh? The criminal who stole...
did I...
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make...
Y es cuando todo se resuelve. Me encanta pujar. Para allá. Hey, no sé si conocen el término geodata. El geodata es prácticamente como el juego vincula tus acciones con el medio ambiente. Algo así como, por ejemplo, si pasas por un árbol y te tira una flecha, en lugar de golpearte la flecha golpea el árbol. Cuestiones de altura, superficies, rocas, árboles, y la interacción de tu personaje con otros medios del entorno. Por ejemplo, esta roca, y todo eso se basa en el geodata. Entonces, si me lo recordará para acá. Ahí está. En fin, y la geodata del juego pues es bastante es muy especial esta geodata porque puedes llegar y dibujar a las personas, cosas así.
Oh,
En algunos
so
juegos
you
donde la
must be
geodata es
the
débil
author
puedes
of
pasar
A
por el
Legend of
medio de los
Sword.
NPCs.
I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away.
No need to worry, Genyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda's...
Yes. In fact, we were just...
Wait a minute. Does everyone else
Sí.
here already know?
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squads here. In order...
Shinjo looks pretty flustered. What exactly is going on here?
Sí.
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people in the end. I'm the...
No, Genyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for the Irodori Festival. I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors. Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yai publishing house, but Lady Yai also... However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for
Tengo que
Genyu.
decir que es una quest bastante
Yes,
rápida,
to be
como
frank,
30 minutos o
calligraphy
menos.
is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Genyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma. So these past few days, Genyu has been actively practicing his handwriting.
Le
However,
pusieron a
it
hacer
takes time
tarea.
to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Genyu could use these few days to sign them all. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the web. To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Genyu in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into... All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly hand. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yai publishing house had requested autographs of authors so that they could be put on display. I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature for the event. But looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice signature for the sake of my pride.
Te entiendo,
Hey,
Shinju. Yo
come
también
on,
tengo una
Ritu.
letra de la
Listen up a
fregada.
little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
¿Verdad, barbatos?
All that matters is that Shinjo and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest.
Yes, I understand.
We should probably be heading back to Rito.
Todos tenemos un lado que no queremos que los demás conozcan. ¿Cierto, barbatos? Ya me estoy aprendiendo de memoria Ritou. Gracias a estas quests.
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these...
Todo sucedido a los editores.
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier?
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Genyu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Shinjo looked so sleepy today.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yai Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Genyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today. We've worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Genyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are 2 entirely different skills.
Even though Xingqiu still has to deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop, but I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about the 5 Kassen?
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things to Xingqiu yet.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
Y ahí viene el video.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Most humans could have the entirety.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Xingqiu's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding? Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Xingqiu with something? He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him. Oh, what's that sound?
Un gato.
It was just
Ese es un meme de
Looks like we can't
del Chavo del Ocho.
themselves that easily.
¿Quién es? Es un
It's
gato.
getting late now. But let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
Y con esto acaba la segunda misión de las quests diarias de esta actualización con... ¡Ay! Nos liberaron la arena mecánica. Me sorprendería, pero ya lo sabía. Ya recogí estos. Y nos liberan otra quest, Leyendas de los Caes. Perdón. Y ahora esta la pasemos ahorita, déjenme